Hello, my name is Olaf HEIDELBACH. I'm working for the unit Policy Perspectives in DG Agri and would like to present to you the EU Green Deal, Sustainable Agriculture and the Farm to Fork Strategy. The EU Green Deal is a larger European project that has been developed in 2019, and the Farm to Fork Strategy is only one part of it that has been launched in 2020. As you can see, there are many different other initiatives that aim to make Europe the first climate-neutral continent by 2050. There are many challenges to the EU food system in terms of sustainability. With regard to social sustainability, we would like to aim at healthier diets, reduce overweight, improve animal welfare, of course keep food affordable, and also care about social rights for workers in the food chain. When it comes to environmental sustainability, we are going to tackle climate change, protect the environment, preserve biodiversity, reduce food losses and waste, and aim at a circular bio-based economy. With regard to economic sustainability, it is important to ensure fairer incomes for farmers and fishers, just transition, and new business and job opportunities as a result of the Green Deal. There are several targets, we call them 2030 targets for sustainable food production that we want to achieve. I'm going to name 4 important ones. We want to reduce by 50% the overall use and risk of chemical pesticides. We want to reduce nutrient losses by at least 50% while ensuring no deterioration in soil fertility. We also want to reduce sales of antimicrobials for farmed animals and in aquaculture by 50% and achieve at least 25% of the EU's agricultural land under organic farming. I will go now in the details of some of these objectives. The first one is on reducing antimicrobial resistance. This is a huge problem that leads to 33,000 human deaths every year in the European Union. As you can see, we have made a lot of progress in the past years on reducing the sales of veterinary antimicrobial agents marketed for food-producing animals in the European Union. So they have gone down by 28% between 2011 and 2018. Now we have a new target by 2030 to reduce the sale of antimicrobials for farmed animals in aquaculture and in aquaculture by 50%. We are going to stimulate organic farming. As you can see, the area under organic farming has been increasing constantly in the past years. We are now at about 8.5% of the total utilized agricultural area. Although there are significant differences between the member states. For example, in Austria, we have almost achieved 25% organic area. In other member states, it is around 2 or 3%. The new target we have for 2030 is that at least 25% of the EU agricultural land should be under organic farming. But that doesn't mean that each and every member state has to achieve the 25%. It means the EU in total. Now we're talking about climate change and the EU's agricultural footprint. The EU has the only major agriculture system in the world that has actually reduced greenhouse gas emissions by more than 20% since 1990. The share of agriculture in total greenhouse gas emissions is about 13%. That was 2018. 70% of those come from the livestock sector. And we have the target, the EU climate target, to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by at least 55% by 2030. And then by 2050 to become the first climate neutral, carbon neutral continent. As you can see, it is a challenge, and at the moment the greenhouse gas emissions are actually stagnating for agriculture. Coming to the sustainable use of pesticides. Chemical pesticides contribute to soil, water and air pollution biodiversity loss and can harm non-target plants, insects, birds, mammals and amphibians. We have also made progress here and have reduced the risk from pesticide use by 20% in the period 2012 to 2017. Now we have a new target for 2030, which is to reduce the overall use and risk of chemical pesticides by 50% and the use of more hazardous pesticides by 50%. You can see on the chart that we have made progress, but further efforts are needed. Reducing nutrient loss is another target. And if you look at the chart here on the right-hand side, you see that there is a huge surplus of nitrogen, less so for phosphorus. So this excess of nutrients in the environment stemming from excess use and a lack of absorption by plants is a major source of pollution and climate impact. And we want to reduce by 2030 again the nutrient losses by at least 50%, while ensuring at the same time soil fertility. I have presented you now a number of targets, and I would like to point your attention to the fact that the Farm to Fork Action Plan includes many more actions. For example, we have developed, end of last year, recommendations for our member states who have to submit draft strategic plans to implement the new agricultural policy. We are also working at the revision of a sustainable use of pesticides directive. We are working further on animal welfare legislation with regard to farm transport and slaughter. Research and innovation is a very important action under Farm to Fork, and under Horizon Europe we have allocated about 10 billion euros related to food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture, fisheries, aquaculture and the environment. There is also an initiative to improve the position of primary producers in the value chain. We are currently reviewing the EU promotion program for agriculture and food products. There is an initiative with food industry actually to come up with an EU code of conduct for responsible business and marketing. There is the sustainable food labeling framework. I will speak about this in the next two slides. We are also looking at mandatory front of pack nutrition labeling. And then last but not least, we want to reduce food waste as it is currently about 20% in the EU. It is more in many other countries, especially developing countries. And this can actually lead to a green transformation as well. As I said, labeling is definitely of interest for our trading partners. At the moment, we are looking at an animal welfare label. There is a proposal to evaluate and revise the existing animal welfare legislation, including animal transport and slaughter of animals. There is a sustainability label as well in preparation. So a proposal for a sustainable food labeling framework to empower actually consumers to make sustainable food choices. And consumers are part of the equation. It is not only the farmers and the processors and the retailers that have to do their job, but also consumers actually need to increase their demand actually for healthy and sustainable products. Without that, our targets will be not achievable. What we need to actually achieve the Farm to Fork targets is as well that all the actors need to work together, starting from the citizens and consumers, as I have just mentioned. Also including, of course, the whole value chain from farmers and fishers to processors, food manufacturers, retailers, the hospitality industry, and also the input industry to start with. Advisory service, financial services, research have to be brought on board. And then we, the EU, and our member states actually have to work with our trade partners on the international scene. We also have to collaborate with international organizations. I'm now coming to the last slide, to the conclusions. So these are the messages I would like you to take home. The first message is that the European Green Deal has created a window of opportunity to raise the importance of environmental food production standards to the level of our food safety standards that are regarded as the highest in the world. So the Green Deal and the Farm to Fork strategy will impact on the way we design our common agricultural policy and the way we manage our agriculture. The common agricultural policy will bring new measures in line with the Green Deal and biodiversity strategy and the Farm to Fork strategy that will make our contribution to climate change targets. We will improve the management of natural resources, ensure a fair income return for our farmers, and reinforce the protection of biodiversity, among others. There will be new conditionality, which will link area and animal-based CAP payments to a range of obligations. We will also introduce new eco-schemes and other tools under rural development that can support the transition. Last but not least, it aims also at rebalancing power in the food supply chain. So it will impact on the way we produce food. I have talked about animal welfare, I've talked about antimicrobial resistance, food waste, food labeling. And this is the way we actually reply to new societal demands related to food and health. It will impact on the way we trade internationally and our relations with trade partners. We can't, the European Union cannot do it alone actually. We need you, we need our trade partners in order to achieve the Green Deal and the Farm to Fork targets. Thank you very much for your attention.